Alright, let's go. Today we're going to be going over the most underrated players from every NBA team. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Atlanta Hawks, we have DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter is a 6'8" wing that can score at all three levels while being an adequate wing defender. DeAndre also has a very well-balanced shot selection and does whatever role is asked for him. Moving on to the Boston Celtics, we have Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon has had one of the strongest mid-range and three-point games this season while being a top-tier playmaker. This season, Malcolm has been one of the top 6 men in the league, not to mention he's top 3 in the league in three-point percentage. Next up, for the Brooklyn Nets, we have Nicholas Claxton. Nick Claxton has been one of the top defensive players this season. He's near the top defensive rating of all players. He contests every shot, he can score inside and grab boards. He's second in contested shots per game and contested shots total. He's 35th in player efficiency, second in blocks per game, and 17th in rebounds per game. Now for the Charlotte Hornets, we have... The Hornets rookie has been highly underrated this season. He provides great defense, notably his rim protection. He's great at cleaning up boards and converting second chance points. Mark hasn't seen much of a role as a lot of fans might want him to, but he's delivered when he's given the opportunity. For the Bulls, we have none other than the high flyer himself, Derrick Jones Jr. Despite his lack of shooting, Jones is a phenomenal finisher and a good defender, averaging 1.1 steals and 1.5 blocks per 36 minutes. Also, just look at this man's dunks, bro. Insane. Moving on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs have lots of notable selections, but I decided to go with Darius Garland because despite being an all-star last season, Darius Garland's 2022-23 season has been slept on by many NBA fans. He's averaging nearly identical stats as last season, yet he isn't getting as much recognition. Darius has remained one of the best playmakers in the league while shooting fairly efficient from the field, especially from three. He's 27th in total points, 37th in points per game, 9th in assists per game, 6th in total assists, 21st in total steals, and 33rd in steals per game, 9th in net rating, and 10th in assist percentage. Coming up next for the Dallas Mavericks, we have Josh Green. Despite the Mavericks' lackluster season, Josh Green has been a bright spot. He's a great rebounder and a good defender. His passing ability is above average, he has a high basketball IQ, and he's great at running cuts. He's averaging career highs across the board in every stat and shooting at a phenomenal three-point percentage this year. Up next for the Nuggets is one of my favorite players in the league, Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is one of the best two-way players on the team, shooting at a very efficient clip this year. He has a great shot selection and off-ball movement. He's 48th in rebounds per game, second in offensive rating, first in net rating. Not to mention, he's one of the best dunkers of all time.
Gordon! Oh my goodness!
Mascot.
For the Detroit Pistons, there's a lot of available selections, but I decided to go with the best player on the team currently, Bojan Bogdanovic. While he's not the best defender, he shoots at a ridiculous clip at high volume and a high efficiency. He's a great off-ball player and can fulfill any role when he's asked to. I can't believe my Jazz traded this man for Kelly Olynyk.
Oh, looking for help.
Bojan is at 28th in points per game and 43rd in total points this season. Up next for the Golden State Warriors, we have Klay Thompson. While this might be a controversial pick, Klay Thompson has turned around his washed persona this year that many fans have given him and has been living up to the expectation of being a splash brother. While his defense isn't as great as it's been in the past, he's still a great two-way player who has helped the Warriors when Curry and Wiggins are sidelined. Klay is 33rd in total points, 26th in points per game this season, and let's not forget, he has 4 rings.
The other side, Clay's got a good look. His three is good!
Next for the Houston Rockets, we have Alperen Sengun. Sorry to all the Rockets fans watching, but this team is an absolute dumpster fire of isolation ball and inefficiency. While I'm sure players such as Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. will continue to improve and play closer to their potential, at the moment, Alperen remains the bright spot in Houston's 2022-23 tenure. Great playmaking big man with a high basketball IQ and a knack for positioning, which helps him get easy buckets in the lane or rebounds which result in putbacks. While he's not the greatest shooter, he's still better than many of the big men in the league, and he has potential to become a real 3-level threat. This season, Alperen is 21st in total rebounds, 23rd per game, and 31st in total blocks, 30th per game. For the Indiana Pacers, we have T.J. McConnell. TJ is very quietly having a great season. His efficiency has been on point, and he still remains an excellent passer and one of the best thieves in the league, or ability to get steals. He's 4th in deflections per 36 minutes and 2nd in loose balls recovered per 36 minutes. Next up for the Los Angeles Clippers, we have Ivica Zubac. Zubac is a good defender and an elite rebound grabber with an ability to finish inside. He's 3rd most in screen assists per game and 2nd most total, 4th in box shots per game, 2nd in contested twos per game, and 3rd in contested shots per game. Alright, for the Los Angeles Lakers, we have Jared Vanderbilt. As a Jazz fan, I'm extremely high on Jared Vanderbilt, and I've tried not to do recently traded players, such as for the Nets, I was considering Cam Johnson. But Jared is someone I truly can't pass up on. Before joining the Lakers were ranked 17th in the league in defensive rating, just a little below average. Since Jared joined, they've been the 4th best team in defensive rating, near the best of the best. He's a defensive anchor on both the interior and the perimeter, and he's capable of guarding any player in the league. Not to mention he's 3rd in loose balls recovered per 36 minutes. And for the Grizzlies, we have Desmond Bane. There were a lot of good selections for the team, but Desmond Bane has been slept on so drastically despite his rise to greatness. When people talk about the Grizzlies, it's usually about Ja Morant's greatness and his stupid decisions, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s amazing defense, and Dylan Brooks as being the most annoying player ever. But Desmond Bane is having a ridiculous season, putting over 20 points per game on incredible efficiency, while also being a productive perimeter defender and adequate passer. It was a tough decision for the Miami Heat, but I decided to go with Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is an efficient scorer, and he's developed into a standout defender for the Heat this season, stepping up and playing defense and scoring when he's needed to. Not to mention, he's great at drawing charges, and he's 8th in charges drawn per game. Coming up for the Milwaukee Bucks, we have Brook Lopez. The Brooklyn Nets' all-time leading scorer is very quietly having his best season in a Bucks uniform at age 34. While being an efficient scorer, Brook Lopez is one of the best rim protectors in the league and at least a top 3 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year this year. He is 1st in twos and shots contested per game and per 36 minutes and total, and he's 10th in box outs total. Phenomenal season by Brook Lopez. For the Timberwolves, this was an easy selection for me. While players like Naz Reid are having outstanding seasons, Jaden McDaniels is easily the most underrated on the squad for his efficient scoring and while being one of the best on-ball and pick-and-roll defenders in the league. Doing this at only 22 years old, Jaden McDaniels is a future star in the making. He's already the best defensive player on the squad while being on the team with 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. He's 9th in contested threes per game and 5th total. Hope he gets better soon from his injury. On to the New Orleans Pelicans, we have Trey Murphy III. While many people only recognize his name through the dunk contest, Trigger Trey has had a substantial jump from his rookie season last year, averaging much more points on much better efficiency. Trey Murphy has emerged as one of the best 3-and-D role players in the league, while being 6th in the league in free throw percentage, all while being only 22 years old. He has a bright future ahead of him. The Knicks have a lot of underrated standout players this season, such as Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes. While I'm going to get a lot of backlash from this, my pick for the Knicks' most underrated player this season has got to be Julius Randle. Julius Randle's All-Star season is still flying under the radar by many NBA fans. Last season left many people calling Julius Randle's MIP season a fluke, but this season he's proving that the last season was a fluke. He's averaging an efficient 25, 10, and 4 while being a good defender and leading the Knicks to much more wins than they were projected to have at the start of the season. He's 4th in loose balls recovered total and 9th in 3-point contest total.
Gets it back. Randle puts up a 3. Bang! Bang! Randle knocks down the 3.
For the Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought long and hard about this, and I wanted to keep saying Jalen Williams, but I can see people giving him his love. For Isaiah Joe, I just really couldn't say the same. Zai is shooting at an insane clip, especially from 3, with the 25th highest percentage in the league, which was a lot higher near the middle of the season, as high as top 5. While not being a standout defender, his quick hands and reaction time show tools for him to be able to develop into one. He's 10th in charges drawn per game and 4th per 36 minutes. For the Orlando Magic, we have my inspiration to make this video, Markelle Fultz. While I'm not saying Markelle is the most underrated player in the league, he was my inspiration to make this video because Markelle went from being a bust to developing into one of the best playmakers in the league. He still has the persona around a lot of the league that he's still a bust, but he still has much of the talent he had in Washington. It's just he needs to continue to develop. He's still an elite playmaker, a great defender and finisher, and one of the best pass first point guards in the league. I believe Markelle Fultz still has all-star potential. With the 76ers, DeAnthony Melton has been a great three-point shooter and one of the better on-ball defenders in the league. He's 5th in steals per game in the league with 1.6 per game, 7th in deflections per 36 minutes, and 6th total. For the Suns, we have Josh Okogie. While Josh isn't a high-volume scorer and is below league average in both field goal percentage and three-point percentage, he's a great rebounder and a plus defender, being 4th in the league in defensive rating and 9th in deflections per 36 minutes. For the Portland Trailblazers, we have Jeremy Grant. While Jeremy Grant has been sidelined for the lower half of this season, he still had a very efficient scoring year while stepping up and helping the Trailblazers in key moments despite their losing record. 50th in points per game and 35th in blocks per game. For the Sacramento Kings, we have Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter is having his highest scoring year while also on his highest efficiency. He's been a knockdown shooter from anywhere on the floor and also an adequate defender. This season, he's 47th in steals per game, 26th in three-pointers per game, and 5th in offensive rating, which is the highest that's not a Denver Nugget. For San Antonio, we have Trey Jones. Trey Jones' season has been lackluster in terms of efficiency, but he's a smart defender and a great cutter. Trey is a great playmaker with an incredible basketball IQ. This season, he's 17th in assists per game, 22nd in steals per game, and 9th in assists to turnover ratio. For the Toronto Raptors, we have OG Anunoby. While he might be overrated by the organization because he's not worth 3 first-round picks, by most NBA fans, OG Anunoby is highly underrated. He's having a very efficient season while being one of the best defenders in all of basketball. He's first in steals per game with 1.9. He's second in deflections per game and 4th total, and 5th in loose balls recovered per game. You can always count on OG Anunoby to make the hustle plays that can help secure the game. For the Utah Jazz, we have Walker Kessler. As just a rookie, Walker Kessler has shot at an efficient clip what would have been the highest in NBA history if you played just the last few games, while being one of the best rim protectors in all of basketball. He's 27th in rebounds per game, 4th in blocks per game, 3rd in effective field goal percentage, 3rd in true shooting percentage, 3rd in offensive rebound percentage, 9th in rebound percentage, 3rd in contested twos per game, 2nd total and per 36, 8th in contested shots per game, 2nd per 36, 5th total, 8th in box outs per 36, and 9th total. This is all as a rookie, man. Easy top 3 in Rookie of the Year. Finally, for the Washington Wizards, we have Corey Kispert. This year, Corey Kispert has shot the ball very well while having very high awareness and many of the tools needed to be a great defender while being one of the best cutters in the league. Not to mention, he's a very acrobatic finisher at the rim. He's also 11th in three-point percentage this season. I'll get that mic fixed up soon enough. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.